back to the Cavaliers Sports Roundtable. I'm here joined with Ryan Chybinski on my left, Pryce Jamison on my right, and I'm Matt Rutherford. We're going to talk men's and women's basketball, both gearing up to get ready for their conference tournaments. Pryce, let's start with the men's team. You think they're ready?
I think they are, because the story is adversity. They had a rocky start, 5-11, but their playmakers are really beginning to find, put the ball in the basket, and they are scoring and doing what they have to do to will their team to victory. So,
talking about playmakers, you got Ryan Byers, 18 points on Wednesday, the 15th, against Newman at a tough conference opponent. We saw them beat them here in overtime, beat them again, lost to them 85 over there, a 5-point loss. Not that big of a deal. I think Newman's another team we'll see in the playoffs when the Cavaliers get in, sitting at the 5th seed right now. I think this team can make some noise. They've really turned it around, and Coach Mack really seems invested in this team, Matt.
Yeah, I think this team, they're ready for the first round. And I think that's about as far as they get. Watching them in conference play, they play quick sometimes, which I like, but they're playing a little too quick for themselves. And one of my biggest issues with them is they're not getting the rebounds. They need to be able to get down there. They need to crash the offense and defensive boards. They're just not boxing out. They're not getting the rebounds that they need.
That rebound also comes down to the fact that they're undersized against a lot of these teams. They've got two big men, Isaac Brady and Malik Bailey. Malik struggled with injuries, so you see him on a minutes restriction. McDonald has him playing, only parts of quarters. Isaac Brady starting over him. I think Malik stays healthy. I think Isaac Brady stays out of foul trouble. That's been his big struggle. He's got to get straight up, and you got to box out. That's the biggest issue. And I don't think the pace of play is a problem. I think they need to play fast. If they don't play fast, they seem to struggle. When teams slow them down, they make mistakes. They try to throw long cross-court passes. They get picked off. They lead to fast breaks. This team needs to play quickly to win.
Absolutely, because at first in the beginning of the year, a lot of that quickness was also isolation ball. It wasn't a lot of teamwork. It wasn't a lot of passing. It wasn't a lot of help defense. So I feel like now Coach Mack has these guys more so trusting each other and going for certain plays that you don't have to be a superhero, but trust the guy that is next to you and be at your right spot at the right time.
Another thing, Amadou Sarner's getting hot from beyond the arc. He's started to shoot more these last few games, and the Cavaliers need that. He disappeared there in the middle of the season, wasn't doing anything. I was talking with his parents at Immaculata, and they were like, he's got to shoot the ball more. And that's what he started doing, and he's starting to show his shooting stroke now. Teal Stewart's starting to get hot as well. This team's going to be dangerous in the conference tournament. Can they win it? I don't know. Can they make it to the finals? I think they can. I think Marymount just might be a tad bit better in the end, but I'm pulling for them Cavaliers.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the men, like this year, it's kind of up for grabs. There's not one clear favorite. Like you said, Newman's a pretty good team. They helped it close both games. So I really don't think that there's a clear-cut favorite. But when it comes to the women's, you're looking a little bit better. You're looking right now, I believe, we're the 2 seed.
Yep.
So do you guys think that they're ready for their conference tournament?
I think so. They're finally getting the production they need from their freshmen. They struggled in the beginning of the season working in Ella Gordon and the other freshmen, getting them going. Finally, they're starting to produce. Abby Paolini's got her shooting stroke going. Marita Liebtag in the lane is looking good. This team's dangerous. They got the Katie Rodriguez and Gianna Rullo duo down there. They can outsize teams, and they can play really well.
Exactly, and you have to remember that they began out 3-10, and now they are 8-3 in their conference. So that right there is a good sign about they could beat anybody in front of them in this AEC tournament that is coming up. Marymount, though, still has our number, in that side of things, but I still feel like this team can definitely do some work.
Absolutely, to go from 3-10 to 500 is great. Only dropping 2 games since that opening 8-10 start, 3-10 is impressive. This Cavaliers team is playing well. When you, again, force the team to play their pace, it's a game that they can win. They're in every game they play, and I think this women's team is going to be dangerous, sitting at the 2 seed, hopefully going to get, good things. Coach Pearson's going to get them ready to go, and this team's going to be dangerous in the conference tournament. I think both our teams are going to make some noise.
Yeah, this women's team, they've been very strong after they started conference play. They started out with that struggle like you guys have been talking about, but they really got their things going together. Now they're starting to play as a team. A lot of their issue in the beginning is they were playing a lot of individual ball. Now they're starting to play together, and they're getting better and better. They're getting better at communicating. They're getting better at getting the ball off the court and breaking presses too. So I really think that that's going to be important for them going forward.
Absolutely. They got one more regular conference game against Gwen and Mercy on Saturday at home, senior day. It's going to be a big one. That Nerny Fieldhouse is going to be rocking. I mean, I expect it to be rocking in the playoffs. I think this Cavaliers team is going to make some serious noise. I think that we're going to see I think both these teams can make a run. I think it's hard to say exactly how well they're going to do. It's much like the NBA. It's night in and night out which team shows up. But if this team shows up, they're a dangerous team to play. And I got these Cavaliers winning it.
Especially with these girls that are second place in the AEC. You know, that right there will land us a home game, you know, as that first game in the big tournament. So as that occurs, you know, they are shooting the ball well. And everything is going their way in these past few weeks. So I'm really excited, and I really think that we can make some noise and get far.
Absolutely. Just got to stay out of foul trouble. Again, the big issue, got to keep breaking those presses, got to stay out of foul trouble, get rebounds, box out, everything we've been talking about for both teams goes across the board. I really do think that this Gwen and Mercy game will be a good test because it's the game right before you go into the conference tournament. How you show up for that game is important. Who you play, obviously you're not guaranteed a conference tournament spot. Both these teams look good for it. So I expect to see all the starters, all the players ready to go, fired up, rocking in Nerny Fieldhouse on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that they will be just fine going forward. And that is all the time we have for this week on the Cavalier Roundtable. Thank you, Ryan and Pryce, for joining us. And we'll see you after the break. And guess what? Spring sports are starting. So let's go.